I look like.
What is up, everyone, and welcome. We are back here at the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society. Jeremy Johnson, along with Jim Range and Craig Nasello tonight. Guys, it's been a while since we've done a show, but our studio is growing. Everything is getting done, and I'm kind of stoked about it. And also, today is a big day in whiskey history.
Yes, it is. What is it, the
125th
anniversary of Bottled and Bond?
Yes. But more importantly now, I'm digging the new studio. It looks great. I'm looking at it here online, and it looks absolutely amazing.
It's coming along.
I mean, it makes Craig pretty.
No.
No?
No.
It makes him sexy.
It really, well, anything makes Craig sexy.
Well, if Jimmy would quit drinking with the damn contractor, it'd probably be done already. But, you know.
Well, I mean,
that did happen a few nights ago.
Out, you know.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
He comes in and goes, "Do you have any good whiskey?"
Did he really ask you that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the next night we broke out all the full proofs and barrel proofs.
Of course.
So
He's
yeah.
got to play a little bit, right?
Right.
Little swinging energy. Nothing wrong with that. So.
No, he was just, we sat down and had a few drinks, and I'm like, all right. His son came upstairs, who's helping him finish the basement, and goes, I go, Alex, you're driving him home tonight.
Well, we have a killer show tonight. Like I said, it has been, we've got a lot of material just because we haven't done a show in a while. But again, you know, sets are being built, business is being done. You know, speaking of business, Uppercut Whiskey did finally launch since the last show, and I'm kind of stoked on that. So you can get that in Missouri at the moment. We're about to branch out to a bunch of different locations, and so I'm pretty thrilled about it. I know that you guys have had it. It seems to be a pretty decent whiskey, so I'm kind of glad that the world seems to be liking it here in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, I've had a few people from in other areas request it. That I've made sure I got them a bottle or two of it, and it's been very well received. So that's great to see and hear.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. But tonight, like I said, we are talking Bottled and Bond, what it is, what it was all about, but also it's International Irish Whiskey Week.
Week or day?
Day.
Okay.
Could you imagine if they went a week?
Well, see,
I mean, they do a week
Well,
over there. Right?
well, that's fair.
but I look at it like this. I just wrapped up the birthday, and I did it for a whole month.
Well,
Celebrating until the final day.
But you
So
had
why
the big
can't
day.
we have the whole month for Irish whiskey? Because I do enjoy a good Irish whiskey.
I do too. And tonight, actually, we are opening one of the better ones. I cracked a Redbreast 12-year Irish whiskey, pot still whiskey, both malted and unmalted barley. And
It's the first one I've seen of that, honestly. So
really, yeah. Well, you know, I got to get one on you every once in a while.
It's nice to be caught off guard.
And I feel bad, you know. Craig Nasello over here, he's not having many cocktails with us tonight. He
I'm not
tested
having
early.
any.
Yeah, he's got to do a little business after the show taping
Can't
today.
drink
so
anything.
That's terrifying.
Bullshit.
It's hard to do whiskey
So
shows without
I want to
drinking.
know this.
Yes.
Do we keep our kid approval rating tonight with
Oh,
Craig not drinking?
No.
I doubt it. I doubt it highly.
Get out of here with that
There we go. All right.
already
Well, yeah,
started
that's
it. All right.
done. So.
Fuck you talking to?
No, I'm real thrilled about this. So tonight, though, of course, we always make you a drink, and with it being International Irish Whiskey Day, I made one up, and I'm not gonna lie.
He did okay.
I mean, it's not bad. I'm pretty sure everybody in here would buy that in a bar. So
It would be a good drink on the beach.
wow, okay, I could see that. All
The
right.
sweetness of it and that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very tropical with it, which you would not expect with an Irish whiskey.
Well,
But it does pull it forward and that, and you still get that good little bite.
let's teach them how to make it. So, all right, we are gonna we're gonna make this with Redbreast 12-year Irish whiskey, by the way. Irish whiskey, very interesting because it's made basically
Irish?
of one grain. It's malted and unmalted barley. So malted barley means that they make it to where it sprouts. And it has to be grown to where it sprouts, and then they take it and they dry it out and they grind it up, make whiskey out of it. So first, we're going to start with 2 ounces of Irish whiskey. Next, we are going to move on to 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Right like that. Next, the big one here, though, that makes it all worthwhile, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, fresh squeezed, and lime juice together. because why not, right? That's what makes it go. So we're going to use a little bit of pre-done lime juice, but I'm all about using the regular stuff too. So
Is it bad? I've got 4 drinks in front of me right now, all different.
hey, it's you're finalizing your 60th birthday month here, so
I get to celebrate in March too?
absolutely. Now here's where the
love
kicker
it.
of this goes. So we've done 3/4 an ounce of lemon and lime juice. We're gonna do 1 3/4 ounce of peach schnapps, and you ready for this one, Jim? Here's where everybody couldn't figure out what it was. It's actually 1/2 ounce of orange juice.
So the peach and the orange is what gives you that tropical flavor.
Exactly. Then we're going to hit just 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Right like that. Beautiful. All that in. Take it. Give it a good shake. Do that over here so we don't kill the microphone. So, I'm a fan of that right there. Take it. Strain it over fresh ice in your glass, right like this.
And what's the rule for shaking for those people that are new to the show? When do you shake?
So anytime that you add citrus to a drink, no matter what it is, you shake it before you add soda. And that, after you garnish it with a lime wheel, because limes are pretty. And there it is in the MMA bourbon glass. That is in there now. I call that the Irish eyes are smiling. All right, cheers, ladies and gentlemen. I will put this recipe, though, out on our Facebook
Good for you
page. So
guys. This is bullshit.
you're not happy about this, are you, Craig?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
that's good.
I'm not
that's
happy at
real
all.
good.
It's real
But
good.
it is what
That's
it is.
really good.
That is really good.
Not gonna lie, that's quite tasty.
It's up
so.
there with the margarita from earlier. Actually, I think it surpasses the margarita from earlier.
So, for all of you that don't know, I also made margaritas before we got here, and I did a passion fruit one, and now everybody's hammered, so it works.
No, I'm just
know.
getting started.
Absolutely.
how
All right, no, we are talking, though, Jim, bottled in bond. Craig, I know that this is kind of one of those to you, though, that you're like, all right, great, it's another thing that has some kind of tag to it. But you know what it does? It makes good whiskey.
Yes, it does. It
It's
makes
consistent.
excellent whiskey.
It's consistent whiskey.
Yes.
It very much is.
And that's what the Bottled in Bond Act was all about. So way back in the old days, when people made whiskey, they couldn't tell you what it was. It could be anything added to clear liquor, from wood shavings to tobacco to iodine to change the color. Because after they figured out that aging in barrels made a good whiskey, they tried to make it so fast that they couldn't deal anything, and would do anything to change the color of it, to make it brown for us. And so the Bottled in Bond Act came along, and what it did way back in the day was it basically gave a set of standards. And those standards, Jim, are, do you know them? I'm throwing this at you.
So you're going to throw it at me.
I am going to throw it at you.
It's funny. I put together an agenda and I did not do my homework because Jeremy normally takes this piece.
Well, I'm just literally throwing it out there
I know
to
you
you.
are.
I'll give
So,
it to you.
I'll go through.
Okay.
It's got to be produced, aged, and bottled in the same facility.
Correct.
It's 100 proof,
Yes.
and I'm missing something else.
So it has to be aged a minimum of 4 years.
4 years, that's
Yep.
it.
And so basically, it was also a lot of the taxation, but this went down back in 1897. So again, 125 years. And what it did is it set the standard that made anyone and everyone who was going to produce a whiskey to produce basically the same product.
So you cannot source your whiskey for bottled in bond.
Exactly. It has to be made in the same place that it was done. A big one who was a purveyor of this was Colonel E.H. Taylor. And so E.H. Taylor was one of those kind of guys who was like, I want to make sure that this is going to be a spot-on, perfect beverage. And next thing you know, the government steps in and tells you this is what it's going to be. It has to be 100 proof, no matter what. Has to be done in the same facilities, and it has to be aged for a minimum of 4 years. So you make a pretty good product. And tonight we have 3 great ones for our sip, sink, and save. What do you think of those tonight, though?
I think it's a great selection.
I found one of them to be flat.
That's a fair statement.
That is.
That
I
is
would
a-
bet we all come across with the same one for it, probably.
Well, that could be.
Maybe, maybe not. But
Maybe, maybe not.
so, Craig, You sampled them all.
So
What's your thoughts?
my thoughts?
Oh, are we going here? Okay, so we're going to jump into this.
We're going that fast.
You just brought it up.
No,
so
I'm
let's
with
go
you.
ahead.
I think that it's time.
Because it ties into this subject.
Oh, completely.
So my sipper every day is going to be Old Granddad. I just love Old Granddad. That is probably one of my favorite whiskeys, or bourbons, and it's cheap.
It
It's
is.
cheap. It's not. It's,
Well,
All three of these are.
well,
that was
yeah,
a big
but-
thing though that with this one is because I mean we get a lot of grief sometimes of the bottles that we do tastings on.
Well, Jeremy likes high-end bottles.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Pot meat kettle.
Yeah, as we sit here with our Old Forester birthday bourbons.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's what we had tonight.
Yeah, a little birthday bourbon. It's fine. All right, but no, we're looking at the Old Granddad Bonded is $30. Evan Williams is $25, and what's a Dickel go for now?
It's 2025.
Yeah.
Dickel and Evan Williams are about the same. Granddad's a little bit more. They're all under $30 though, and they can be found regularly at any
Anywhere.
liquor store, grocery store, anything.
Anywhere.
And
So-
all three, honestly, are drinkers.
Absolutely, completely.
Except for the Evan Williams.
Oh,
I mean-
all right. So, Craig, give us your sip, sing, and save here.
So the Old Granddad is going to be my sipper because, like I said, I just love Old Granddad. Evan Williams is going to be sink. It just tastes like it's flat. It just doesn't taste well.
Fair.
And
Okay.
the George Dickens, I would probably just save for making drinks with or something.
Was it
It's-
Dickens? Didn't he write
Is it-
Christmas?
what is it?
It's Dickel.
Dickel. My bad.
And it's
Okay.
Charles Dickens.
Well, George, Charles, whoever.
Even when
they,
he's sober, we get to pick on him.
But yeah, no, the other one I'd probably just save
okay.
to make drinks with or whatever.
And I that's a very fair assessment. So, all right, Craig Nasello, he is sipping Old Granddad. He is sinking Evan Williams bottled in bond, and he is saving the George Dickel for a good occasion. All right, Jim Range.
I wouldn't say good occasion. I'd say just mixing drinks with it.
Let me fair.
I mean, honestly, I could see bringing anyone out. in
Can we
front of
take a
anybody.
minute that you have three different
he's got
drinks?
4.
You
I have 4. I got
oh,
the
you
bourbon,
do.
birthday bourbon over here.
Oh my! All right, 4 pours in front of you. Hit us with it. What is your?
You just said I get to celebrate my birthday month continuously.
Oh, like
I'm
there's
gonna
no
turn
tomorrow.
It, this is a big one. I'm turning into the birthday year.
Very
I hope
nice.
my wife didn't hear that.
I mean, you just did buy a car.
Small one.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, all 3 I would have no problem having in front of anybody. They're all decent. They're all solid. Solid might be strong, but they're all. They're all
I don't know if solid is the right
No,
word.
that's what I
'cause-
said.
Yeah, because even
I
at
call
100
myself-
proof, there is definitely one that falls a
There's
little
one
flat.
that's a little flat,
Yeah.
right? But so for my sipper, I'm going to go with the Dickel. I really like the flavor
Okay.
profile of it. You get the
Isn't that-
cherries
you
on
going
the
with the
nose and the
Dickel.
berries.
Really, Craig?
Yeah, I went there.
Wow. Okay.
All right, hold my mouth. Is Bet's watching tonight?
Yeah, we don't need Mama Range watching this.
She
So.
got mad about some posts the other day that somebody made.
Oh,
I heard
boy.
about it. But no, but you really get some cherries on the nose with it, and it's got that little sweetness from it. But then you get the berries, and not a good feed on the Craig nuts on the palate.
I didn't hear
But you
you.
get a little bit of that nutty flavor with it. But wow. So I mean, but the flavor profile is really good all the way through.
Too easy.
Evan Williams, you get a little bit of sweetness on the nose, nothing else. Beyond that, you don't pick up any spice or anything. So to me, it's sinking.
All right.
I'm saving the Old Granddad. You get a lot of cinnamon on the front, cinnamon on the palate, and there's so much you can do with that to mix it. Just have it as a sip or do whatever. So when you've got people over, you've got that occasion, there's so many different things you can do with it that lets you open it up and take care of everybody. Where I think the Dickel, you don't have as wide a range with it. Even with the cherries and the berries, you're limited what you can go with that when you're mixing it.
I tend to agree with that. Yes, Craig.
Nothing.
Oh no, please do.
Shut up.
I left part of it out to hopefully shut them up.
I'm shutting up.
Oh goodness. All right. So Jim Range is going to sip George Dickel Bonded. He is going to save Old Granddad Bonded, and he is going to trash Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. Well, I think that we definitely have a consensus tonight. My sink tonight is definitely the Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. It is now don't get me wrong, for 100 proof whiskey, it is very decent to make a nice cocktail with. The other cool thing about Evan Williams, it is the very first Kentucky distillery. So if you ever look at the numbers on it, it is literally DSPKY1. It's the first distillery license ever given in the state of Kentucky.
Who owns them now?
I don't know. Is it? No, it's Heaven Hill, right? Yeah.
Which happens to be a bottle and bond below too that we tossed out when we were trying to figure out what we're including.
Right.
Because all three of these are very equal price points.
Yeah, and the thing is tonight we went with a lot that you can get your own and try. We are going to move forward to a lot more that the average consumer can find anywhere. But so my everyday sipper is, I agree with Craig, is going to be the Old Grandad Bonded. Old Grandad Bonded by far is my favorite inexpensive bourbon. It doesn't matter if it's the bonded, if it's the regular, or the Old Grandad 114 is my absolute favorite. The crazy thing is it's getting harder to find. The 114 is.
That one's even hard to find.
Yeah, the bonded is actually getting to be harder to find because people are understanding that it's great. Now, the thing that, so Jim, who's Old Grandad made by? The Beam Distillery. So I was very surprised when I found out that that was a Beam product. But it has great caramel notes. It has a lot of vanilla to it, but then it also has a very fruity finish to it that brings out a lot to it that you can just sip straight or make a cocktail with. And then, of course, my save is going to be the Dickel, because Dickel has a little bit more punch with its 100 proof. It's got a little bit more heat to it. It has almost a, for lack of a better term, it has a toasted, almost Fig Newton taste to me. And I think that that would work good for hanging out with your friends, making a couple of drinks, and having a good time. And it's also, it's a little bit more expensive than the other two. It's not a swing and move, but it's a better bottled and bond product. So, all right, my sip is going to be Old Grandad. My sink is Evan Williams, and my save is George Dickel. Let us know what yours would be on our Twitter page at MMA Bourbon or on Instagram at MMA Bourbon Society. And a big thank you to Brad Carey Realty, who is our, of course, sponsor of Sip, Sink, and Save. Yep. If you need to sell a property in St. Louis or in Missouri, buy or sell, check out Brad Carey Realty. As he's moved on to now, he's got his own brokerage firm and everything.
Brokerage.
So, yeah.
And what's the name of it?
I'm
Producer Matt. Unrivaled Realty.
Yes.
Yes.
So give him a shout out for any home buying or selling, because let's face it, the housing market is crazy right now, and you need somebody to help you navigate these waters. Producer Matt and myself both are trying to buy houses, so it's a crazy one. Brad Carey is your guy to help you out. So, all right, guys, beautiful talk though there about the bottled and bond. It really was what set the stage for what became real whiskey. No matter what, it's what was.
It was
regulation hit, and it was one of those few times that regulation worked in the government. So, kudos to, what was it, Calvin Coolidge?
Yeah,
I think was the president. Coolidge. Yeah. God, I'm sad that I knew that. It's terrible.
Only because we've done the research on
Exactly. So, big news though, jumping over to the world of mixed martial arts.
Are we leaving bourbon?
I mean, what else would you like to discuss? Do we have anything that I missed? Tell me what I missed.
Let's think about the topic going on right now. There's a bill in Kentucky. I'd like everybody's thoughts on this.
Oh, is this your jump that you didn't tell me about?
No, I forewarned you.
Uh-oh.
There's a bill in Kentucky going on right now because everybody knows you got barrel picks, where a group of people get together, they get to select their barrel. You know, liquor stores do it if you're lucky enough to get drawn as an individual.
Okay, continue.
That you can go out and select a barrel. Jeremy's been part of it with Maker's Mark a few times now.
Yeah, I've actually done a couple of barrel picks for retailers. I actually went to Maker's Mark and designed their barrels.
And I mean, honestly, when you get a good retailer who can go out
By the
and
way,
has
Mama Range just jumped on.
Hi, Bets. Love you. But when you've got somebody, Benny's out their upper Midwest or Chicago, up that area, if you got a barrel pick coming out of there, you know it's spot on. Mm-hmm. They're that good.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a few around the area too that do a pretty good job of it. But the governor of Kentucky, we're not going to call out names,
change what we're doing here, but
has said that doesn't meet our regulations for it. So there's actually a bill going to the Senate right now to preserve the ability for an individual or an establishment to go in and do a barrel pick. I mean, think about how many restaurants have barrel picks that they've got their barrel they picked, and that's at their bar. Rack House out here in Cottleville, in St. Peter's
Louis,
area,
yeah,
in
St.
St.
Louis,
Louis
Missouri.
does it. They've got it.
Well,
But it's trying to be blocked by the governor saying it doesn't meet regulation. So one of the senators put a bill in place for it. What's your guys' thoughts on it?
I don't care.
You don't care?
you really?
Nope.
So think about it though that you could.
I honestly wasn't listening.
Well, no, but think about all the times that we have had quote unquote barrel picks from different restaurants,
I
and
know.
it was that,
I
or we
get
went
it.
and did it. You know, I mean, we've had a bunch of tastings and things of that nature. Could you
La
imagine?
Maison de whiskey in Paris, and they had their bottles anymore.
Can you imagine the idea that you couldn't go do that because the government says you can't anymore?
Oh, I know. It's a joke. I was kidding.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. The idea of it to me is that
Not going to affect my day, though.
no, it's well.
It's not going to affect my day.
It will affect the whiskey people's ability to get some of the bottle. You know,
No, I
So
understand that.
there's a big difference. So otherwise, your barrel selects. You got your single barrels that are out there, but there's something special when you get
that's
when
yours.
you put. It's not just that it's yours.
Well,
When you think about most whiskeys and most bourbons, they're blended. I got 8,000 barrels. They're going to pour. They're going to get bottled. They're going to get brought down to
sure.
the right proof that they want them at.
Right.
You get to say, that's the barrel I want. It's brought down to the level you want. You've selected that flavor profile, that specific barrel, because we all know no two barrels are alike.
ever.
They're not.
And
The combination of them together brings it, but you get to pick that one barrel that you get to go in and say you do it, and it just stands out from everything else. There's a huge difference in it in my mind.
well, so to me, that's what makes the chase of Blanton's what everybody wants, because it's the single barrel aspect of it. There's only between 220 and 260 bottles of a barrel when it's a barrel proof done. That's what comes out whenever it's been aged for 6 years. You get the ability to get about 250 bottles on average. If that doesn't happen for Blanton's, you know what you get? You get $18 ancient age 90 proof.
Well, the single
so-
barrel doesn't change. The barrel select
but
picks
what,
do
but,
it's
but what I'm
different.
saying is, but it's one barrel. So if you go and you pick a one barrel of Old Forester, you get to taste it, you get to name what you're going to call it, and then you get the exclusive to that particular barrel. No matter what, you got to pick it. Whenever I did mine for Maker's Mark for the retailer over in Illinois, I literally sat and I picked the barrel. I picked the other wood staves that would change the flavor of that barrel for that retailer because I thought that's what would sell. It all comes down to what can that business, if it's a restaurant, if it's a store. Store picks have become a gigantic collectible in the world of bourbon, and you're taking that away now from people who use it as, number one, it's a great marketing tool, and number two, it's a different taste because it's not blended with 8,000 or 2,000 or whatever it is other barrels to make it work.
Four Roses barrel, single barrel.
Absolutely.
Huge. It's one of the biggest ones in my mind that comes. It just jumps out at me when you think about it. And we've actually had 3 different local
Oh yeah.
barrel picks, single barrel proofs out of the St. Louis area that we put head to head, and they are so distinctly different. They're all aged about the same time period, but knowing where it's coming from, it's different, and you respect that person that's picking it. And to me, losing that ability to have that bottle is big.
I absolutely think that. And I think that it will affect the way that collectors work. And so let us know what you guys think. I know that we have a bunch of whiskey collectors. Let us know in the comments here on Facebook or on Instagram or Twitter at MMA Bourbon. What are your thoughts on the idea that the average business, because I mean, it's not even the average Joe. This is the average business can't now go and do a barrel pick if this passes.
And that's one of the things a lot of them do to help bring business into
Completely.
their business.
Do you honestly think it's going to pass in Kentucky?
The governor's already stopped it. The guy had the bill has to pass to prevent it from being stopped.
I can't figure out why they even went to this. Like, what was their ideas of the why?
Maybe he can't get it. That's why he's mad.
I mean, that could be. He couldn't get his favorite Old Forester.
Well, neither can I.
Well,
Yeah, I did.
No, I will tell you. So I was in, producer DJ K-Pop and I were in hunting in Huntsville, Alabama at a bar, and they had an Old Forester pick in the back that they picked the barrel of, and no one got it. It wasn't on the shelves. You couldn't buy it. But when they realized that you were a whiskey guy, the bartender went in the back and you could have some. Now,
So they had a barrel pick that they had the whole barrel bottled,
And didn't
they
sell it.
only shared it with the people that appreciated bourbon and whiskey.
100%.
That is flipping incredible.
Yep, there was.
Can we take a road trip tomorrow?
You would love it. So here was the thing, and I love it because they got to name it, and I remember the taste, I remember the nose, and I remember the name right off the bat.
What was his name?
They called it Grandma's Purse. So do you remember whenever you used to go to church on Sundays when you were little and you'd dig into Grandma's purse to find the orange candies and all of that smell, and it would be the leather, and it would be the candy and the sweetness and the old lady perfume. It hit in this bottle more than anything I had ever seen before. And I can literally remember the nose of everything of that bottle. And the guy was like, "We don't give this to anybody." But he brought it out for us. And it was one of the coolest experiences.
What age was it? Do you know?
It was a 7-year, if I remember.
So they
right.
had a ton of bottles. They had 200 bottles.
Oh, absolutely they did. They had 200
It wasn't
bottles.
like it was a 12 or 14,
Nope.
12 or 16 year that they had sitting there.
And it wasn't even on the shelves of the bar. You could not order it. You literally, It was one of those that if the bartender deemed you worthy, he told you about it. And it was after we sat down, and I think it kind of worked out whenever we literally, so this bar had everything. I mean, they had Pappies, and they had all of the hype stuff. And I walked in, and I go, "That's cool that you guys got that. Can I have that Old Forester birthday bourbon from 2014? And he went, "Oh, okay, all right." And then we started talking about, cocktail making and yada, yada, yada. And we sat at the bar. Literally, we actually extended our trip to go back.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was one of those that, to me, that's what the barrel pick does for a business. I stayed, probably spent $300, $400 at the bar alone just for an extra night to be able to have that particular barrel pick again.
That's because K-pop had to drive. Speaking of birthday bourbon.
Oh, I actually finished mine already, so it's just God.
Okay.
So we're going to move on. We're going to have a new segment starting this week.
I think that we do it next week. 'cause
We're
we need a
going
few
to start with
bottles.
the next show, but we're
Kinda
going to start.
explain it. Yeah.
So what we're going to start doing is when there's releases coming up, and I'm going to drop a bomb on one right now, especially for the people hunting. But there's some releases coming out in March that are going to be fun. Most of them are not going to be hard to find. I'm really excited about the Uncle Nearest. I will throw that one out. It's got a single barrel coming out.
I cannot
Wait
for
for that one.
Uncle Nearest was my 2021 pick of
Yeah.
the year.
That was the sleeper that came
completely.
out. Yep. Heaven Hill dropped a bomb today talking about them with the Evan Williams and a Heaven Hill bottle and bond.
Yeah.
They
Can
got
you
a
imagine that
they got a
unicorn
17
chase?
year coming out. I mean, everybody's gonna be chasing that. It's gonna be crazy. I'm not even gonna try. But we're gonna start talking about what's coming out. There are some good ones coming out that are gonna be decent priced, easy to find. So next show we'll start talking about that. But
Keep
so
going. Yes.
no, but I mean it's gonna be something we add to the show. We've talked about it. We've been looking for it. There's nothing really crazy. It's by date right now that we've got, other than the Heaven Hill coming. But that Uncle Nearest, I'm looking forward to. So if you see it on the shelf, I recommend grabbing it because everything else from Uncle Nearest has been incredible.
I actually would love to have them on the show at some point in time whenever we can do guests in.
Yes.
That is one of the coolest stories. And I
Why don't you
give...
go ahead and talk about it real quick.
Well, so Nearest Green was actually the distiller. He was from what I understand, he was a slave. And when he was freed, he actually went to work with Jack Daniels. And so Jack Daniel, he was the one that taught Jack Daniel how to distill. And the product that this group has come up with is one of the single tastiest bourbons and American whiskeys that I have had in a long time.
Is there an 1856? Am I thinking right?
Yeah. The history behind it, and like I said, I would love to have them on to talk about it sometime, is just, it's the coolest thing ever, because now even Jack Daniels, who is a Brown-Forman product, which is not what is owned by Uncle Nearest,
Right.
has a section in their history at the distillery on Nearest Green and how it all went down. So yeah, very cool. And I'm actually looking
Yeah.
forward to this segment
I'm
that we've
looking
got
forward
coming.
to single barrel, but I am looking forward to bringing this forward to you guys.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of cool bottles coming out, or I should say releases over the next few months. They're going to be fun to talk about, and we'll give our thoughts on them.
I am stoked for that. But there's
Craig's
a lot
bored tonight. You notice that?
You know what it is? Craig can't drink.
Can't drink.
And he's mad about it. He's actually kind of a little pissy with us.
No,
He's got pouty
I'm
face.
still trying to wake up.
Well, I mean, that's you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can't
At
have
least
any
he didn't
whiskey
fall
with-
asleep at dinner the other night.
That is true.
We're not going to say who did.
Oh my God.
Wasn't
Can
me.
we please?
No, I'll be dead. Oh, wait, I just gave it
You
away.
just gave that away.
I'll say it. I don't care. I'm not scared.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no.
K-pop's laughing.
Exactly, because she saw the pictures, and yes, there are pictures. No, but moving on again.
Again?
A lot of whiskey.
We're moving
coming
on
No, we're
again?
moving on for real
Okay.
this time. Moving into the world of MMA, and Craig, there has been a ton of things that has been going down in Bellator, including in our hometown here of St. Louis, coming up here in just a couple weeks. I think it's March
Couple weeks,
12th.
next weekend.
Is it next? I'm lost on what
A
day
week
it is.
ago, a week away.
So
week away.
we have a big show coming to St. Louis.
Yep. Bellator.
Talk us through it.
Good Lord, you would do that to me.
276?
Yeah, 276, right? Yes.
Biggest one, of course, we're looking for is Julius Onlictus versus Phil Davis.
Phil Davis. Jesus, I am not awake tonight.
You
guys.
really aren't.
I'm not. I'm not. It's been a long day of sleeping. Anyway, yeah, so
Happens when
it
you
goes
get
down
old.
at the Family Arena this weekend, or next weekend. And then the main event is Adam Borks and Mads Burnell for the #1 contender spot.
How do you see that fight going?
I see Adam winning that fight. I don't know, though. Mads is so
Why?
tough.
Just give me the thoughts of why.
Mads is more of a grappler, more of a jiu-jitsu guy.
Okay.
And Adam is a very, very good stand-up fighter. So I could see it could go either way. I mean, both guys are tougher than hell. I mean, it's just like basically just flip a coin and see what happens. You know.
Yep.
I mean,
It should be a fun fight, though.
it's going to be a great fight, I think.
And I say fun, exciting to watch.
Yeah.
When I
Oh,
say
yeah.
fun, it's something you enjoy watching.
I think that is a fan fight there. You know, it could go either way.
And then, of course, the co-main's St.
Well,
Louis's own.
co-main is St. Louis'
Yep.
own Julius Onlictus
And,
taking on Phil Davis, which is a gigantic fight in Julius's career.
And I really hope he wins. I mean,
100%.
I mean, it's one of those things you're like, you root for your hometown guy, but he's also fighting one of my favorites.
But he's
Right.
also one of the nicest guys you'll
Yeah.
ever meet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
No.
mean,
No.
when you
Both
watch
of
him
them
come
are,
in-
actually, even Phil Davis is a great guy.
No, yeah.
But
But when you
they're
see
both good
Julius, he comes in, local fighters,
Oh yeah. Local
AME
shows.
Pro, local, and that's what I'm saying, with
Yeah.
local ones, he corners them, he's there for them. I mean, he's just down to earth. He's there for the right reasons.
He's a true
I
Absolutely.
want to
teammate.
see him succeed.
He's a true teammate.
Completely.
He's there at all times, no matter what. And he's one of the nicest guys you can deal with. He'll sit and talk to anyone. I mean, just a great kid.
Yeah.
I really hope to see him step up and win this one. It'd
Agreed.
be a big win for his career right now.
Well, I mean, I think
Oh,
there's a
completely.
good shot that the winner of this might get a shot at
At the
the
title
title,
again.
right?
I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I have no clue.
But I mean,
Fair.
no, I'm not saying that, but if I'm looking at it as a fan, because
As a fan,
Julius lost to Nemkov, he
Yep.
had a great run of fights and
And
loses
so
to
didn't
Nemkov.
so didn't Phil. Phil's lost to Nemkov twice.
Yeah.
Right.
And then now Nemkov and Corey Anderson are fighting in April for the title
Grand Prix, right?
and to finish the Grand Prix and the light heavyweight Grand Prix.
Well, that's a hell of a fight.
It is.
And that's in San Jose, and that's also going to be Patricia Pitbull and AJ McKee too.
That's going to be an incredible card.
It's going to be a good show altogether.
I am so looking forward to it. You know, Corey Anderson has ties here to the Midwest.
Yeah.
I've known Corey for a while. I'm happy for him that he has made it to this level in Bellator, after his run in the UFC. So, yeah.
He seems like a really nice guy. I've talked to him a couple times, but nothing.
Great guy.
nothing
Absolutely.
special. The other fight I'm really looking for, there's two other fights on this card I'm really looking forward to. Johnny Eblin and John Salter.
Oh, yeah.
Two wrestlers, and
Well, that generally ends up being a stand-up war then.
and the Johnny striking's gotten so much better since.
He's proud of it too.
Oh yeah, well he likes
He's quite proud of the transition.
Johnny's funny. He's one of those. I wrap his hands at Bellator, and he is probably one of the funniest dudes I've ever met.
Oh, completely.
He is like genuinely the nicest guy and just funny.
Yeah, back in the days when I was calling his fights at Shamrock FC, I mean, he is one of the toughest guys I have ever seen in this sport.
Don't cut John Salter out. John Salter ain't no punk.
Oh, I'm not at all. Literally at all. Are you going to pop that open while we're standing here, even though there's 3 bottles literally with no caps on it? I mean, it's fine. But it all comes down to drinking, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
then we got
think
Yamaguchi
it shows-
on the undercard with Derek Anderson. That should be a good fight. Always like watching Yamaguchi fight. And then Cody Law and James Attic. I don't know who James Attic is, but Cody's a good kid.
It
He's
is
another
Paolo
kid.
Bonde.
He's another guy out of American Top Team and a big whiskey guy.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Do you guys sit around and talk whiskey while you're rapping?
sometimes we will a little bit, but he also gets he's got a bottle coming for him when he gets in town.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
What,
so
what bottle is that?
uppercut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A little something, huh?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
He's a good kid. He's 5-0 in Bellator, or 5-0 altogether. But so that's the St. Louis card that we were supposed to have Pam Sorensen and Kat Zingano, and I guess Kat got hurt.
That's what I had heard, that there was an injury in training.
I was really
so.
looking forward to that fight. It's no secret, Pam's one of my favorites.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You know,
and
she's coming
Pam's
from
been around.
Invicta, and she was our Invicta champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have Invicta on Wednesday night.
And that's
46. Invicta 46.
46.
Rodriguez versus Souza.
How's that card looking? I mean, it's a smaller card. Which
6
is normal-
fights,
But it's normal for Invicta. It's 6 to 8 fights.
In 6 fights, it's
that's what makes Invicta great.
Yeah.
Is the idea that number one, the matchmaking of Invicta is amazing, and number two, those girls throw down.
Always
Pardon me,
have.
Jim, while we're-
They have, we have 6 fights. Danielle Taylor and Daniela Taylor and Liz Tracy. That should be another good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Both girls like to stand and bang. That should be a fun fight too. But the rest of the card, I really don't know too many of the girls. There are a lot of newcomers that
but
we have.
That's kind of what's been cool about Invicta. And I mean, I've worked Invicta with you
Yeah.
too. And it's one of those girls it's the up and comers.
Yeah.
And Shannon has done an amazing job of getting
Finding
those
new
girls
talent.
to the next level
Well,
and finding
new talent.
Yeah.
Finding new talent.
But
And
she did that back in the Strike Force days too. So I mean, she's been around the business for a long time.
yeah.
But as a shooter, I love when we'd go to KC for Invicta because there was not a fight out there that I was not going to say it's shooter's paradise.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the girls come out to brawl
Completely.
and they leave everything on the mat. They leave it in the cage every fight.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun to watch. They're definitely a lot of work sometimes. It just
Well,
depends.
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
a very true statement. I mean, I never realized it until we did that one up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I think some of my sickest shots have come out of there.
I
You'd
think
be
I get
amazed
more-
how many
I think
jaw
I get more work
benders.
at a women's show than
Oh.
the most like
Yeah.
Bellator's. I get a lot more work there.
Yeah,
it seems
I
like.
would agree with that absolutely. All right, and then moving to the big UFC card of Colby Covington taking on former teammate of Jorge Masvidal.
Former teammate. Would Masvidal move camps?
So
Or
they're
how about former friend?
Well,
Let's go that
They're
route.
still American Top Team together.
no? They threw
Masvidal out.
no, they threw Colby.
Covington.
Oh, that's their Covington
Covington
now.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. I've not paid attention.
Yeah, and it's actually been a while. He's been gone out of there.
So where's he at now?
I don't know what gym he ended up landing at, but yeah, there were a lot of friends, former corners. That's a tough one. Of course, the BMF champion there in Jorge Masvidal, big knockout over Ben Askren with the flying knee in 12 seconds or whatever it was. We know a little something about the BMF, right, Craig? I mean,
Yeah.
we do, but yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jimmy Range, how do you see Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal going?
You know me, as a shooter, I like a stand-up fight.
Fair.
If it stays standing up, Jorge takes it. But I truly think Covington's wrestling background, he's going to take it to the ground, goes to the ground. I think he takes it. What's interesting is Colby says he wants to make him suffer. He wants to drag it out, not finish it, which I think could backfire on him when you try going to that strategy. I'm going to make it last, because then you make a mistake letting somebody stay in the game.
Well, you're going to get a Masvidal that's actually had a time to train, not like when he stepped in the fight for a title with no training. I mean, he's actually been in camp for how long now for this fight?
There has been. I mean,
do I think that Covington could dictate the pace and dictate where it goes with his wrestling? Absolutely. But I also seen when he does really, really good wrestlers, and that's knocked them the fuck out.
Yeah.
You are not wrong in that one in the least.
I don't think he's going to try to stand in. He does not want to stand and bang, no.
No, and I want to know, what do you guys think out there? Let us know in the comments of this on iHeartRadio or on our Twitter page at MMA Bourbon. Who takes it, Colby Covington or Jorge Masvidal? I think we need a poll on Twitter on this one.
I think we
guys.
do.
Sure.
Absolutely. So,
You know what's interesting?
what's that?
Colby gave up his pay-per-view cut for it. It's all personal.
Do you believe that?
No, not at all.
Do you? I don't believe that.
I brought it up for a reason,
No,
so
I
you know
understand
that.
but
First thing, why would you do that? You're an idiot if you did.
you're not wrong.
Second thing is you're still a fucking idiot if you did. And the third
Hey,
thing
my
is,
mother's watching.
then she might want to change channel.
Sorry,
She's
Bex.
got HBO, don't she?
I mean, fair.
But no, why would you do something that's
I don't get it either.
I don't.
that would be dumb on
Anyone
everybody's
who says,
part,
I give my purse away to fight, blah, 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 is dumb.
Yeah.
especially the money they're probably going to make off of
Oh,
this.
yeah. The main event on this and the pay-per-view,
Completely.
they're both sitting there looking at probably the biggest paid checks of their life. Or close to it.
Close to it. I think Masvidal's been probably
No,
paid
that's
pretty
why I
decent.
said-
I
Yeah.
bet the BMF match with Masvidal made him a fortune.
Oh, it did.
I mean, complete and total. So, who wins it?
I'm going Masvidal by knockout.
Really? What round?
I think late, probably third or fourth.
Okay. Jim Range?
If not really
If
quick.
it goes late, I don't think Masvidal knocks him out. If Masvidal knocks him out, it's going to be early.
Wow.
I don't think Colby Covington realizes that Masvidal really likes to fight.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
think that both guys-
really likes to fight.
Well, I mean, he came from the backyard brawls of
Right.
Combo Slice.
Right.
I mean, so, yeah.
He's not a punk. The guy's tough as shit.
No.
Completely.
And he's gonna be in. Well, he's always been in shape. The only fight I've ever seen him out of shape for was the title fight that he stepped in on.
2 weeks notice?
2 weeks notice. I mean, you shoot your shot. You never
Yeah.
know what can happen, and I don't blame him. But with that being said, Colby Covington is the cardio king. He has a third lung. Get out of here, dude. You're such a.
That was funny today.
You're so cliche.
But the funny thing was,
Cringy.
big shout out to my buddy Adam Hunter, MMA Roasted, for that comment today. That was funny as
What
all
comment? I
get.
didn't see that comment.
Oh, he put out that that Kobe Covington got banned for his third lung.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh
that.
yeah, it was awesome.
I've been asleep all day.
Well, I get it, but yeah,
Sleeping Beauty over here.
completely.
Work midnights.
But I don't know. I'm having a hard time calling that fight. And I'm one who likes to bet on fights. I mean, complete and total, we need a DraftKings sponsor.
You know, that's the
because-
only bets I lost in Vegas were fights.
Really?
You need to bet on boxing. What do you expect?
Well, that's fair. But, so that is going to lead
sorry.
me,
I deserve it.
Jim Range. What else you got tonight? Or can I move to my final gotcha?
Oh, I'll let you go to you.
All right. My final gotcha. It involves one Jake Paul. So Jake Paul has come out and you actually know what I'm talking about, don't you? Jim does, yeah. Jake Paul had some interesting comments in the media this week about the fight world, the boxing world, and the potential of moving to the world of mixed martial arts. Jim, give me your thoughts on the idea of Jake Paul moving to the world of MMA and fighting in Khabib's organization.
He gets his ass beat.
And he go.
Pardon my bluntness, I don't think he can do it. You can't walk into there without the experience and the training overall and compete. He can do it as a stand-up. He's got the fundamentals as a boxer of never fighting a true boxer. And honestly, where I thought you were going
Hit me.
was him being called out for a world championship boxing match
Well, so that was my next one that was going to lead into it.
No,
Go ahead. Go ahead and talk about what happened.
In that fight there, he takes the payday, gets annihilated.
But explain what happened. Explain what happened this week with that call out.
I don't have the full background on it, but essentially, bottom line, world championship fighter said, hey, you want to fight a boxer? Let's go. My belt's on the line for you. Take it.
And it'll never work. I mean, I don't think he does it.
He won't do it because he will not put himself in a position where he cannot win or have a chance. I won't say cannot win, but cannot have a chance of winning.
Can we take a minute, though, how much Jake Paul makes into this damn show? And it irks me to death, but
you guys keep bringing it up.
Well, no, I mean, look at how much grief he's been trolling Dana White and talking about fighter pay and the fact that...
Well, he's not wrong.
But I blame that on the fighters, too.
I'm not saying that, but he's not wrong. Is he? I mean, seriously, is he wrong with fighter pay?
So, okay, this could be an interesting topic. If we're going to go this route, let's go this route. All right? Okay. The fighters have agreed.
Oh, I'm not saying it's on all parties.
Okay, but
I'm asking, is he wrong? That's my question. Is he wrong on this?
Okay, so it comes down to what do you consider wrong? Because if you sign on the dotted line that say, I'm going to fight X, Y, and Z for however much money.
I understand that.
You agreed to.
You agreed, right.
Now,
right.
If you think that you're worth Floyd Mayweather money, which is what he's talking about,
right.
You'll never fight.
No.
How many fighters are worth that?
Okay, so let's go down the idea of who's worth that money in MMA. There's one. And there's only one.
Two. John Jones, Conor McGregor.
I don't even think John Jones is worth that.
Not at this point.
John Jones has tarnished his record beyond belief.
Not at this point. I would say John Jones 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, yes. John Jones now, no. But the only other person that everyone wants to see either win or lose is Conor McGregor.
And when has Conor McGregor won?
So you want to
last however many years?
Yeah,
Do you know who I like in Conor McGregor too in the boxing world right now?
I can't wait to hear this.
I've shot him for his championship fights.
Okay.
Adrian Broner.
Wow. Okay.
I think he's been retired forever.
No, but he has, but so is McGregor. But look at the attitude, the personality, the trouble he's in. He is the Adrian Broner of MMA. All the potential in the world, does
that's
it.
That's an interesting thought. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't even, you got me on that one, Jim. Okay. All right. You know, I mean,
am I batshit crazy with that thought?
No, I don't think you are absolutely at all. I think that's a real interesting concept. So,
and he's the second worst fighter that Bob Barton hated. The first one being Mayweather.
Oh,
Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather. Yeah, exactly. That's what Bob used to call him. So,
but come on, I mean, seriously, that's who he reminds me of. He can't keep his ass out of trouble. He's got potential. He could be the best in the world, but he wants to be.
I don't think Conor has it in him anymore. I mean, I think he does, but I think he's also like, do I really gotta? Like, he's got enough money. I mean, really, I mean, at this point, it's all about just maybe having fun and talking shit.
See, my whole thing is Conor has got to win the next one, or he's literally like.
Why does he get a next one? I'm asking you that.
Why?
Well, because he broke his ankle.
No, I mean, why? Because no matter what, he's going to sell 1 million pay-per-views. Doesn't matter what.
He'll sell 1 million after that. So every time you give him that one more, he's going to have it because he's still going to draw.
Big agree here with Chad Mueller in the chat tonight as he's watching the show. Broner did have a ton of potential back in the day. Unfortunately, I think he kind of shot craps with that whole potential.
He did, but I think. And Chad, I completely agree with you. That's why I made the comparison.
Yeah.
Brad Carey says, what about Khabib's call out to Conor McGregor?
I could not imagine Conor fighting Khabib now because Khabib is a killer no matter what. Khabib is a different animal. And I don't think that if he came back tomorrow off of the bench, he kills 99% of the people in that weight division.
His wrestling is just stupid.
It's
stupid.
Freaking bear wrestling. I mean, it really is. So, all right, guys, let us know what you think in the comments, though. of all of this going on and the idea of everything Jake Paul, because I don't know how the
He
hell it
lives in
happened.
Jimmy's head. Jake Paul lives in Jimmy's
He
head.
loves Jake Paul.
I didn't
He's
bring
got a
him-
shirt.
I did not bring him up this time.
Oh, come on. You love it.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I did not even put him in the agenda this time, knowing he was called out for a championship fight.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Producer Matt, am I wrong or am I right? Does he live in Jimmy's
Yep,
head?
big
Yeah,
thumbs
got
up there from producer
So I got
Matt.
one thought here. Producer Matt, you feeling okay?
I mean,
Well, no, you haven't touched your drink tonight.
oh, he's only on his third. So.
Oh, there's another one.
Brad Carey says he wanted him to fight his brother, and if he beat him, he could come.
out of retirement.
I had heard that.
I didn't hear that, so.
So yeah, I heard that. It was one of those that it was kind of in passing though, and I don't think that would ever be a thing because I don't think it'll happen. It would be amazing if it did, and I would take the odds on that fight absolutely in Vegas. But all right, guys, it has been one heck of a show back, and I'm glad that we don't have to wait like we did before. But again, studio changes, a lot of business, a lot of things.
And heck, by the time of the next show, we might have it completely.
Nah.
Not completely. No, wait. I didn't say done. I said it might be moved again, is what I was trying to
No,
get at.
we'll be able to continue having shows now. Progress is being made enough that we'll be able to
There we go.
not miss.
Quit drinking with the guy and
I
then
mean,
be done.
So yeah, can you
But the-
imagine? He sits and he drinks with his contractor.
Right.
They literally broke out the foolproof and the barrel proofs to talk business, quote unquote, after everything went down.
Is he giving you a discount for that?
I mean, he had to
I'm
have
just
drank
curious.
at least five.
Stacy negotiated.
He had to have drank at least 4 drywall pieces in whiskey.
Right,
Let's
So
right.
let's
right,
see. So if we talk about the barrel proof and foolproof night we had, we had a
boy.
1792 foolproof. We had the Jack Daniels, 1792 foolproof. Jack Daniels barrel proof.
which is not bourbon, by the way. Also, just an FYI, the Dickel in this is Tennessee whiskey.
Exactly.
It's not
I showed
bourbon.
Craig that earlier. But you know the other one I shared with him?
What was that?
Craig's going to cringe because he's going to cry. He didn't get to.
Uh-oh.
Weller foolproof.
Oh, I love the Weller Foolproof. It's so good.
Makes a great bourbon cream.
It,
Thank you, Jonathan.
yes, Jonathan Spicer, thank you very much for making that happen for him.
I
So
hate you guys right now. You know
I
that, right?
know you
guys
do.
both suck.
the terribleness of Craig not being
Going
able to drink.
home. Taking
All
my
right,
stuff
ladies
going
and
home.
gentlemen, that is it for another episode. Jim Range, anything else for the crowd tonight?
I think we're good. Cheers, everybody.
Exactly. Craig Nasello.
Nope. Buy your tickets for Bellator next weekend.
Exactly. Go get
Come
those
out.
tickets.
Come out, support, have fun.
That's right. Big shows in Missouri. That's what we want here
Yep.
in the Midwest. We want to see all kinds of action here. Also, remember, go support our sponsors, Brad Carey Realty and his new endeavor as a broker. I'm very stoked for Brad. He is a great guy. Again, if you are in Missouri looking for a house, trying to buy, trying to sell, Brad Carey Realty is your guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will be back in 2 weeks with Jim Range's new segment and much more right here at the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. Go find your barrel picks while you can.
Completely.
Doesn't matter. It's not going to happen.
Cheers, everybody.
I bet it does.
I don't care.
It's fine.